Right off the bat, that thing looks pretty cool, don't you think? Pretty cool. I mean, I couldn't believe I found a red ZX14R. Just like mine. Oh my goodness, that makes me so happy. Look at that. I hope you don't get tired of looking at it on tabletop. That is a beautiful model. The ZX14R is such an awesome, awesome bike. I call mine the Destroyer. It destroys everything I go up against. Like everything. Motorcycles, cars, it doesn't matter. The thing is so radically fast. Hey, secret between you and I, don't tell him I told you this, but it destroyed Sean's BMW 1300, whatever that one is, like an S1300, a fast bike. And we're out in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, hey dude, let's go for it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to tell you, this thing is fast. He's like, I think I'll do okay. So we had 3 races. I kicked his ass every time. And we're on interphone. He's like, oh my gosh, dude, that bike is so fast. I'm like, I know. It's just like the Hayabusa. Maybe a little faster than the Hayabusa. And I bought mine used for a song and a dance. Very inexpensive. Very cool looking. Yeah, a Maisto 1/18 scale Kawasaki. It still goes in the Ninja family. I think mine says Ninja on it somewhere. ZX14R. And that color was very limited. I mean, finding one in red, good luck. They're usually in Kawasaki green. Yeah, that thing looks rad. What? Oh, you thought I was talking about the air pistol on the table. Actually, I was talking about that too. That thing looks rad as well. Looks like it should be in the movie Blade Runner. The remake, by the way, where's my comb? Pretty much sucked. Yeah, it wasn't good. I mean, I watched it. It was kind of entertaining. I don't know. I won't go into a review of Blade Runner 2. It just was awful. The casting was bad. I didn't like the main dude playing that part. Awful. But it does look like a gun that would be in Blade Runner, right? Yeah, maybe you'll see it in a movie and you'll get a good laugh because you'll see this this pellet cylinder right here and you're like, hey dude, that's a TR50. And that's what this is. Nutnfancy review on the 11 joules higher powered version of the Umarex TR50 air pistol in 50 caliber. 6-shot CO2 powered. Here's the box end right here. Purchased with donation dollars. Thank you donors. Be one for the rest of your life. Please. This goes under the T4E banner of Umarex, and I guess that stands for, I don't know, training for engagement. It's an interesting focus from the company. This is not meant as a enjoyment pistol, like just going out and plinking paper, tin cans. You could, I guess. It's meant for self-defense. Less than lethal self-defense is what the TR50 is meant for, and that would be my focus if I got it. I definitely would not recommend you go out and buy this for just fooling around. I think you could do a lot better. 50 caliber uses a lot of air because of its diameter. So these 12-gram CO2 cartridges, cylinders if you want to call them, they're not going to last that long. And they're saying you can get 40 shots out of it before you have to reload. And you can, but I think probably about 2 of these, we're at a power level that I'm impressed with. 2 of these. And then it's time to change the cylinder out. You can plink around with it more or less. And you'll see, by the way, in the inset video, dudes, you'll see my velocities obtained when I'm shooting. And I will say roughly with a self-defense round about 300 to 275 feet per second. And then if I go with a lighter weight nylon balls, these could also be used for self-defense, maybe popping a pest animal without hurting it. Or these polymer balls, these are much lighter weight, 50 caliber options. Then if you get these, they're going to be much higher velocity. You might see 400 feet per second. They're advertising this up to 450 feet per second. I'm trying to think if I saw that. I don't remember if I saw that high of velocity. Let's look in the box. This is kind of what you get, at least from the vendor I got it from. So I think this is correct. You're going to get like 4 of these cylinders. This you won't get. I ordered this extra. These are the Devastator steel balls that are set in a nylon sabot. And you can see I've shot some out of here in testing. Really, dudes, this is what makes the gun so amazing. This one right here. If these weren't available, I probably would not review it. Probably I'd just go, maybe use a paintball gun. And there are solid rounds for paintball guns as well. Riot Balls is a website you can go to, and they have them there. Here's your instructions. Comes with a 1-year warranty. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And there's actually 2 involved in this review. And let me just get that out of the way right now. I did buy one, and I was testing it in the Curse of the Desert, and the Desert won. Imagine that. The Desert won.
First shots out of a new cylinder. Well, that's not so good. Wow, that sucks.
I put a CO2 cylinder in it and charged it. I will tell you, it was very hot. It was like 102 degrees that day. And the whole gun, I had been shooting it. I was getting really good velocities out of it. And then shooting mostly this stuff right here. And then it just lost air. Every time I charge it, there was some escaping air up through here. So a seal blew. And I did send it back for service. So I'm waiting to hear how Umarex deals with it. They were pretty cool in the email. They were very adamant that I send them the proof of purchase. I'm like, okay, but I don't think you can even buy these in Walmart. So I did that. I'm going to put down in the description how they handled it. Why don't we do that? So I'm not, in receipt yet of their return. And I will tell you, that gun was a total fail. Ain't gonna lie. It was a total fail. That it did that, I was like astounded. It hadn't been shot that much. This one, however, I shot. It's been pretty good.
TR50.
I will say this stuff, this Devastator round is so freaking expensive. I didn't shoot a lot of these. Probably just one package full is all. I got enough to know its accuracy, its overall reliability, how it reloads. But I'm going to say, yeah, that's bad. It's bad, Umarex. And if you're going to intend this to be a self-defense pistol, you might want to really make sure that you put some good seals in it, because dude is going to probably walk around with this expecting it, here comes POU by the way, expecting it to defend him, in the streets.
Oh, that's wild, dude.
Yeah, so, and this is kind of cool too, that this is an option where we're trying not to really hurt somebody with a real firearm, right? So we're trying to de-escalate. Anytime, in my opinion, when we go with a less than lethal option, we're trying not to kill somebody. That's the bottom line. Now, in my pocket I'm reaching into right now, my right cargo pocket, these days, I'm always carrying a pepper spray. So this is always with me. It's just a little tiny OC spray. It's something. And I would always try to flee, to de-escalate, get out of that situation, avoid the situation in the first place. But there's lots and lots of experiences and instances where dude could not do that and he's trapped. Now, philosophy of use, this thing is big, and that is a big disadvantage of it. But it shoots a big round. It's going to be hard to carry. I'm going to roll in some overlay video somewhere showing you a Kydex holster that is made for the TR50, and that would be my recommended way of carrying it. Maybe a nylon hunting holster meant for like a Smith & Wesson 44 mag. I might show you an overlay of that one as well. I don't have a 44 mag on the table, but I do have, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have this, a TRR8 and 357. This is a real gun. Look, dudes, they're about the same size. Look at that. You may recall that Doodle stole this from me for years, and it didn't come back into the project until last year. But this is a great gun, the TRR8. So we're talking about size. Maybe we'll roll in considerations of firepower versus mobility. So I don't know if you could really shrink this that much and still get the level of velocity, reliability. I don't know. It's what we have right now. It's what we have to work with. You're going to have to decide if it is too big for you to carry in a daily situation, because that's kind of where you need it. You need it strapped on your person in case something goes down. Now, would I strap on my real carry gun? And let me see, I have it right here. So today I was carrying the P365XL. This one right here. It's hot. Let me see what load I got in it. Oh, dude, that's a great load. Yeah, 115. I think those are, I don't know. I forget. It's a great load, though. Look at how big that cavity is. Awesome. Maybe gold dots. Those might be gold dots. And gold dots are always, can't speak, chrome plated. Great gun, though. Kuziak leather holster. Link below to Kuziak leather. Tons of TMPers have ordered these up. Very, very happy with them. They will take several weeks to make for you. A little American family making some of the best, thinnest EDC carry holsters in the world, Kuziak leather. Yes, it is a shameless promo because I like promoting great products from small makers that just work and they're priced right. These are. But would I carry this and that together? So this might be on my strong side. This might be on my weak side in a cross-jaw orientation. Honestly, no, I would not. It's just too much. I can't hide this, right? I think we would use it in a situation where the chance of, let's call it H-pack, is more predominant. That's TMP language. You guys should know what it means. If you're going into an H-pack situation, then the answer might change. I might put it in my satchel, my carry bag. Then it would be an option. I'll tell you this, it looks like a real gun. I love how they did not paint it with orange. There's nothing foolish about it in the front. It doesn't look like a toy. The TR50 looks pretty wicked to people who don't know what it is. It has a huge muzzle. I think if you just pointed this at someone and you were very serious about de-escalating the situation, I think it would work. But if they call your bluff, you got to be ready. It's a less than lethal option shooting a 50 cal. Let's cover this right now. A 50 cal steel ball bearing at about 300 feet per second, if I'm remembering right. Look at that. So they come seated in this nylon sabot. You can see there's some rifling on the sabot itself. I don't think there's any at all in the muzzle or in the barrel. We'll see in accuracy, it's not super accurate because of that. So nylon rifled sabot, but a freaking 50 cal steel ball propelled by a CO2 cylinder. That's a pretty cool formula. How many more of those are there out there? Now Umarex does make the HDR50. It's a semi-auto. It's painted orange, so it looks more like a trainer pistol, and it will shoot polymer rounds and pepper ball, but it will not shoot these. You need you need this. You need this setup to make them cycle and work in your gun. Philosophy of use. Purely less than lethal self-defense, not recreational, not training. The rounds are way too expensive for that. It's just going to be something you can have around the house, I would think, and maybe in your vehicle. That would be my primary places to put it in low probability of armed conflict. I recommend you probably adopt that. Now, in the car, yeah, I think that's a great place for it. Here's a carry case that I got for it. So this is just a purple carry case, and I really like this. It's awesome. Doesn't look militaristic with the purple on it, and it's got 2 compartments. It's got some desert dust on it. Here's one of those loaded up, by the way. You can see what they look like. Yeah, you might do that. I mean, consider it. It's just an option trying to not hurt people when someone's doing something bad and you can't get away. I mean, I don't want to go for my gun as my first option. I don't think a lot of people do. And that's what I'm reviewing it for. POU is pretty much complete. Features. Okay, once again, it is a big gun. I didn't really write the weight down, but I'm going to weigh it right now off camera because I've got too much stuff there. It's not very heavy. It's going to be more heavy with the steel balls in it for sure. So this is unloaded. It does have a CO2 cylinder in it. I don't think I'm going to unload it because I'm showing you some overlay video of me doing that. 1 pound, 10 ounces. So we'll call it 26 ounces without steel balls in it. That's not bad. That's not too bad. So that's the weight. You can see it is sizable. Basically the size of that 357 I just rolled on the table. I think it looks badass. It really looks tough. It's got Picatinny rail on the bottom and the top. Would I put a red dot on this? Absolutely not. This is a short range pistol for sure. I would probably never engage with it beyond 7 yards because it just doesn't have that much power. Now you'll have to decide whether in your locality, your jurisdiction, your state, your city, does this constitute a firearm? This is the 11 joule version, the high-powered US version of the TR50. A joule being 1 Newton of force applied over 1 meter. Thank you, Professor Nutnfancy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, practically speaking, I don't know what the hell that means, to be honest. But my overall take in shooting this out against paper, I shot it against some steel targets, believe it or not, against some tin cans. It doesn't seem that powerful to me. So I would not be afraid of shooting said bad guy with it and thinking I was going to hurt him. Like the ball would go in him. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, if you hit him in the eyeball, that's going to be a different story. You use your judgment. Do what you need to do. I'll tell you this. If I'm said bad guy, I'd much rather be shot with this than this sumbitch. Because your day's over. Your life is over with this one. Like, which one do you want to be engaged with? I'll take that TR50, Nutnfancy. Yeah, me too. This right here is your loading mechanism. I had it jammed forward. But to take the cylinder out, we'll rotate it up like this. And then we just slide it out. What I did do is put a little bit of 3-in-1 oil, something viscous, on the back of this, just so that soft aluminum, as it engages back here, is lubricated a little bit. And then we put in our loaded cylinder. They are very thin. You can see this. You could carry them in your pocket. Probably not a good idea, and I'll tell you why here in a second. And then we'll just push it in. We take that loading lever and just flip it down. Now, what I recommend is you put some tape on this portion right here and maybe paint this lever right here with orange and orange. And that tells you it's in the fire position, because you might get confused because, well, like I've had it in the whole review, I was up like this and I didn't really pay attention to it. That's actually in the loading position, and that's why this thing was kind of bouncing out. So maybe put orange and orange there. You might think about this. Now, this is all fake. It doesn't turn. It's only for looks. This is fake. There's no cylinder release here. Here's your sights. They're just molded in. Of course, non-adjustable. Again, I think putting a red dot on this would be asinine. This is very cool right here. So this is depressurized status indicator. And when you put a new cylinder in and you charge it, this will pop out. So this has been loaded for the last 2 weeks because I was testing whether it would retain its air charge since that other one had so many problems. And the answer is yes. It did, and it does. Now, is that the best way to store your gun? Not really, because it is ready to fire. There are no safeties on it. And I think in the manual it does tell you don't charge it or store it in a charged, like in a positive air state where there's pressure in the chamber. For me, if it's in a carry case like this, I don't freaking care. I wouldn't mind it. The one thing that I would worry about doing it, let's say it's in our vehicle and we're going to use it for less than lethal self-defense, okay? The thing I would worry about is, let's say it gets super hot in your car and the seals fail, and when you need it most, you pull it out and you look at the status indicator and it's discharged, which leads us to how you load this with the cylinder. It's not fast. It's a slow process, and I don't think you're going to ever reload the cylinder in a conflict of any kind. It's impossible. Ideally, you would just unscrew this, but I found this almost impossible to unscrew unless all the gas was discharged, and then maybe it does come with this Allen head, and this is the best way to do it. And you may see me in the overlay video just using this to uncharge it. Again, I'm not going to do it on camera because I have overlay video showing you that process, I do believe, and if not, we'll just pretend I do. That's the situation. So I think the way it's supposed to go is you put a brand new cylinder in, put it in like that, and you don't charge it. And then this has a very unique feature, the TRR50, not RR, but TR50. You'll smack it. And when you smack it, this spring-loaded cap actually pushes the cylinder up and pierces it in the top of the chamber. And then this will pop out and you're ready to go. That's probably how you want to store it. That's the best way. It's the safest way. It's the least amount of wear and tear on your seals, which you do want to keep in good condition. The grip itself is fantastic. I like it. Does it need some application of grip tape? It would help. This is pretty slick right here. We have some shallow finger grooves here. It fits me really good, but I have large sized hands. I do like it. I probably would just leave it the way it is. It's a freaking 50 cal air pistol. Metallic mimmed trigger, that's probably pop metal. I think the trigger pull on it is horrible because you are rotating the cylinder. It's double action only. There's no way to cock any hammer on it. It is all internal. Showing you this side of the TR50. Very cool looking gun. How did it shoot? Well, I told you the fail on that first one, and I am chastising Umarex for that. That's almost unforgivable. However, things are things. Mechanical things do break. I'm going to give them kind of a pass if they give really good customer service. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to test this a little bit more. If I don't post another video on it, I will update the description below and tell you how my TR50 is operating. Okay, and just watch the description. I might come out with a short video. Here's at 7 yards with it. I was getting 275 feet per second out of my chronograph that day. And that's shooting these Devastators by Razor Gun. These are awesome, by the way. With one caveat. I'll tell you about that in a second, but look at this. So that's the horrible accuracy I was talking about. There's a shot, 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 and it's not accurate. It's not rifled. It's the sabos are the only thing that are rifled. And then if you shoot nylon balls or polymer balls or your own balls, don't shoot your own balls. You're gonna get a lot higher velocity. These are gonna sting a lot more, but you're gonna have okay accuracy. You'll see me in videos shooting these and seeing them hit steel target and some various other things. So this would probably be my choice if I'm chasing away some pest animals of some sort. Just popping them in the hiney and they will not like it. You'll have to be short range. I think it's much, much safer to do that than a high-powered pellet gun, which has and will go into an animal easily. Be very careful with that. You better be careful because you might end up killing that animal when you did not want to. Didn't want to. There's a lower powered version of this. Be careful if you order it. You definitely want the 11 joules version of it. I will try to put a link down below. Oh, I did misspeak one thing. You do get only 2 of these with your thing. What you saw there were extra ones that I ordered, and the shipper just put them inside the box for shipping, so which is pretty cool. Would I buy a Umarex TR50? Yeah, I would. It's really a one-of-a-kind creature. There's really nothing like it on the market. I think it's cool. I think it's capable, and I think it will do what it says it will do. I think it's going to hurt like hell shooting a dude right in the chest, in the leg, in the thigh, and they're not going to like it. And that's if they're not intimidated by its Blade Runner 50 cal bore appearance. I think a lot of normal people would, and they would just quit doing what they're doing to bother you. One thing I was going to mention, glad I remembered, on these, I noticed when these sabos got really hot, some of them dropped the pellet out. Yeah, not the pellet, but the ball. So that's an issue. I don't know if it was because it was so hot. Right now, these are all tight, but I would be careful. Maybe experiment with it. If I'm using them for self-defense, I would really make sure my balls are seated. Yeah, I said my balls are seated. And I would also make sure that these balls are in the sabos also. I might experiment with putting like a little dab of super glue at the bottom of it if they popped out of the sabo. And these are freaking expensive, dude. These are not cheap. These right here, I mean, they know they got something special and they're charging you for them. There you go. Nutnfancy, thank you so much. It's a cool gun. More air gun reviews coming. This is a Spyderco Bow River. It comes in different steels now, different colorations. I'll put a link below. Very simple pouch sheath comes with it. A-okay by me because the price is right. Go check out my review. So excellent. The watch is something you've never seen before. This is the first look. This is a Chronologia jumper. Chronologia is the brand name. Very interesting. NH35 movement. Perfect hands. I didn't do anything with this watch. And that's an automatic. Carbon fiber case. Super lightweight. The lume is okay. It's not great, but I love that it's an automatic and I don't have to fool around with batteries. And I just have my Apple Watch on this side. I know. So weak. So weak. And believe it or not, I don't have any competitive options to show you other than the Smith & Wesson 357 that I showed you before. Don't get these two confused, by the way. That would be bad. Thanks to the donors for keeping everything running along here in the Nutnfancy project. Much appreciated. See you next video.